Sueling Ching, of course, is the president and CEO of the Board of Trade. She's been in that role officially, I think, for about 16 months or something like that. Sueling has a story that she'll probably tell for many years to come, that I think she was officially welcomed into her new role either the day before kind of that March 13th, 2020 pandemic hit, or sometime around that. But anyway, she's doing a great job for the Ottawa Board of Trade. I'm always amazed when I think of the Ottawa Board of Trade, by the way. Sueling will probably roll her eyes when I say this, that it dates back over 160 years. It actually precludes Confederation. And I think about that sometimes. Sueling, welcome. Happy to see you on screen here. That your organization's been around and relevant for so long, and probably never more relevant, I think, Sueling, than in the past year, because the small business community has needed the Board of Trade and other important voices more than ever.
Hi, Michael. Can you hear me okay? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the introduction. And yes, Michael and I get to see each other very often because we're partners in crime when it comes to Ottawa business events. And we get to spend a lot of time talking about Ottawa's economic growth and our local businesses. And it was the day they declared a global pandemic that I was announced as the new CEO of the Board of Trade. So it's been quite a ride over this last year. Mm-hmm.
And how are you helping? Give us a sense of what the Board of Trade is up to these days. I know that it's a laundry list, Sueling, probably longer than my arm, but give us a sense of what some of the priorities or programs you're working on right now.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So the Board of Trade is really positioned, and as all our chambers of commerce and boards of trade across the world, as the voice of business in the communities they serve. So we're really acting on behalf of all of the businesses in Ottawa, every size and every sector, to create economic growth and community prosperity. And we do that by through our advocacy, economic development and leadership, and by convening and communicating and collaborating with other local stakeholders, but also stakeholders at the provincial and the federal levels of government, who have become extremely important to all of us over these last few months, as they have been the primary providers of programs and policies that are going to get us through this pandemic and also set the stage, we hope, for a strong recovery. And so we're just working with them in order to make that happen, and making sure that they understand the needs of the business community to grow. In addition to that, we've been working with partners and internally working on programming, as well as with the Ottawa Business Journal, on those things that directly help businesses survive and scale. So many programs that offer grants, information, education, inspiration as well, because I know you did a beautiful job leading us through the 40 Under 40 last year and the Best Ottawa Business Awards. But we have programs that we're working with partners on to help businesses become market experts online, to do digital transformation, to have access to funding for more staffing support. And so we are continuing to meet with business and community leaders every day to make sure that we have a good understanding of what we need in Ottawa to bounce back quickly from this pandemic. And and that's what we do on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it never stops. And as you said, just on the advocacy, I can picture all of our political leaders that need that constant input into what's happening, in what programs are relevant. So that's a great job, Sueling. On the program side, I'm thinking of programs like Digital Main Street to help Main Street businesses, of course, digitize, to increase their digital maturity through e-commerce, to websites, social media. I was on your website this morning and did an application for student funding. That's a great program. I always forget, it's SWPP or something like that.
We call it SWIP for short, but it's a student work placement program. And it's a funding program where you can access up to $7,500 to have a student work in your business. So it's a nice little insertion of cash. And I want to mention, Michael, only because today is being launched the Canada United Fund. So this is a granting program that was launched last summer, and then we had a second iteration of it, and the third one was being kicked off today. And honestly, the application form is simple and it goes within a couple of days. So I just thought.
And what is it for? What is the funding for, Sueling?
Yeah, it's for businesses that just need help with costs related to the lockdown and PPE and all those things.
Okay. Any final thoughts? I think we're going to move on to our keynote presentation. It's almost 3:40 here, but any thoughts on what people should be looking forward to with the Board of Trade? What's coming up next?
Yeah, so we're embarking on a new strategic plan this year. We'll be very focused on the recovery, of course, for Ottawa, and working with our stakeholders and continuing to support our business community as a whole, with a focus on our small business community, who we know many of them have been at the front lines of this war against COVID. And I just love to use this opportunity to say thank you to all of our businesses for their hard work and resilience and the sacrifices they've made, and encourage all of us to look for ways to support our local small businesses.
Yeah, very well put. We're living in a world of uncertainty, but one thing is certain, which is I think all of our appreciation for small business and what they do to our quality of life, it's that appreciation has never been higher. So
I agree. And I'll tell you, I just got off a call with the RBC chief economists and some of the CEOs in Ottawa, and the consumer has a lot of power. And the consumer, all of us as consumers, forget all of our other roles. As consumers, we have the ability to have a significant role in our recovery. And so I encourage all of us to use that power wisely.
That's great. So thanks, Sueling, for everything you're doing, and thanks for joining us today.